Please open mind. Discern this and all information. November 16, 2017. Synthetic telepathy and psychotronic weapon tortures used by 100,000 secret spies. Posted on in5d.com, and stilllanesinthestorm.com. By staff writer. The Pentagon calls this mind-reading technology synthetic telepathy, although there is nothing paranormal about it at all. The NSA or National Security Agency is a part of the U.S. Department of Defense, and a very secretive part at that. The NSA has a black budget, and is always headed by a flag officer from one of the branches of the U.S. military. The top secret technologies available to the U.S. military is usually 30 years or maybe even more ahead of the technology which is available to the U.S. civilian economy. Who is to know among the general U.S. public what the level of technological development is within the secret laboratories of the NSA and DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency? The headquarters of the National Security Agency is located at Fort George Meade in the U.S. state of Maryland. Today, there are microscopic computer chips based on nanotechnology which can be inserted into a person by means of an injection, capsule, or tooth filling, with or without the knowledge of a doctor or a pharmacist, and these computer chips can track the implanted person by radio or microwaves. These microscopic computer chips can also be made invisible to detection by means of CAT, computerized axial tomography, MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, and PET, positron emission tomography, scans, by some means of electromagnetic degaussing. With the latest top secret and rapid technological advancements available to the U.S. military intelligence agencies, the need for microscopic computer implants in conducting synthetic telepathy against targeted persons is obsolete by now. Rather, a system of subliminal, subconscious, wireless microwave remote control is used today against targeted individuals suffering from synthetic telepathy harassment. Synthetic telepathy is used for conducting torture training and or experimentation against people as red herring good cop bad cop or tough love acting, diversions, feints, decoys, and smokescreens, as smear campaigns by association, as openly secret intimidation campaigns against targeted dissidents, and as a means of espionage. Once it was believed that claims about CIA agents secretly dumping radioactive material in the slums of U.S. cities during the 1950s as part of a research program were simply mass conspiracy theories, until the U.S. federal government in the 1990s publicly admitted that the allegation was true. FBI and NSA agents who are part of a secret U.S. society are genetically inclined sociopaths and psychopaths who work as hitmen, torturers, sexual abusers, stalkers, slanderers, and agent provocateurs involved in murders and torture of hundreds of thousands of innocent U.S. citizens for years and years. At the last count there are 50,000 NSA spies who are businessmen, priests, community leaders, and in all walks of life who are spying and keeping tabs on pretty much all Americans. The synthetic telepathy espionage trainees, sociopaths, sadomasochistic torturers, slanderers, experimenters, and spies, in order to avoid developing any sympathy for their targeted victims, deliberately avoid actually feeling the emotions of their victims by following the squiggly EEG or electroencephalograph lines on computer monitor screens, as well as the silent words thought by their victims which also appear on the computer monitor screens. Then again, who can feel all of the emotions and thoughts which any given person has undergone every second of their entire lifetime? The emotions and silent words of the victims of synthetic telepathy operators can be broadcast against their will to anyone the synthetic telepathy torturers choose to broadcast to, and they also have the power to block or censor any emotions and words of their victims which they do not want to be broadcast. The synthetic telepathy spies can also place their own criminal or antisocial, negative emotions and words into their victims by means of subliminal, subconscious, remote control microwave brainwashing technology, and they can change the voice behind their words so as to make it appear that it is the targeted victim and not themselves who are communicating by means of synthetic telepathy. They can also store emotions and silently thought words onto a supercomputer memory bank which they can rebroadcast at a later time. I believe that the synthetic telepathy operators, although having high I.Qs, are predisposed towards sociopathic behavior because of a genetic defect or combination of genetic defects, and that the only way they can sustain enthusiasm in their lives is by engaging in an addictive pattern of sadomasochistic activities and fantasies. If you do not believe that synthetic telepathy exists, then you should look at these following websites which reveal that part of electromagnetic psychological warfare and mind control which today is declassified. I urge the readers to print save this column as well as the following link where the NSA and their psychotronic weapon attacks and sadistic torture of hundreds of thousands of innocent American and worldwide citizens, guinea pigs and victims, are explained in detail with diagrams and technology. Covert operations of the U.S. National Security Agency, link unknown. Editor's note: this is the earliest published link I could find on the Internet. Important things from the above link for Americans and other people to educate and protect themselves and their loved ones from these secret, non-consensual, and illegal psychopathic experiments, attacks and tortures by these 100,000 FBI and NSA secret psychopaths and spies. 1. The NSA has records on all U.S. citizens. The NSA gathers information on U.S. citizens with over 50,000 NSA agents and spies, HUMINT. 2. NSA personnel in the community usually have cover identities such as social workers, priests, church leaders, lawyers, and business owners. 3. NSA personnel can control the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals in the U.S. by using the NSA's domestic intelligence network and cover businesses. 4. This network, DOMINT, covers the entire U.S., involves tens of thousands of NSA personnel, and tracks millions of persons simultaneously. 5. NSA DOMINT has the ability to assassinate U.S. citizens covertly or run covert psychological control operations to cause subjects to be diagnosed with ill mental health. 6. At the present time the NSA has nanotechnology computers that are 15 years ahead of present computer technology. 7. Synthetic telepathy and other psychoelectronic weapon chips can be inserted into the victims' bodies painlessly without their knowledge in a matter of minutes by FBI and NSA spies. 8. NSA computer-generated brain mapping can continuously monitor all of the electrical activity in the brain continuously. 9. For electronic surveillance purposes, electrical activity in the speech center of the brain can be translated into the subject's verbal thoughts. 10. NSA operatives can use this covertly to debilitate subjects by simulating auditory hallucinations, characteristic of paranoid schizophrenia. 11. Without any contact with the subject, remote neural monitoring can map out electrical activity from the visual cortex of a subject's brain and show images from the subject's brain on a video monitor. NSA operatives see what the surveillance subject's eyes are seeing. 12. Visual memory can also be seen. RNM can send images direct to the visual cortex, bypassing the eyes and optic nerves. NSA operatives can use this surreptitiously to put images into a surveillance subject's brain while they are in REM sleep for brain programming purposes. 13. The NSA, FTMED has in place a vast two-way wireless RNM system which is used to track subjects and non-invasively monitor audio-visual information in their brains. This is all done with no physical contact with the subject. RNM is the ultimate method of surveillance and domestic intelligence. 14. Speech. 3D sound and subliminal audio can be sent to the auditory cortex of the subject's brain, bypassing the ears, and images can be sent into the visual cortex. RNM can alter a subject's perceptions, moods, and motor control. RNM can alter a subject's perceptions, moods, and motor control. 15. the NSA's signals intelligence has the proprietary ability to monitor remotely and non-invasively information in the human brain by digitally decoding the evoked potentials in the 30 to 50 Hz, 5 mW electromagnetic emissions from the brain. 16. Remote monitoring/tracking of individuals in any location, inside any building, continuously, anywhere in the country. RNM can electronically identify individuals and track them anywhere in the U.S. 17. Tens of thousands of persons in each area working as spotters and neighborhood/business place spies, sometimes unwittingly, following and checking on subjects who have been identified for covert control by NSA personnel. How FBI/NSA disables, cripples, and murders its own innocent American citizens. God only knows how many of the unsolved murders and diseases are actually committed and spread by these 100,000 FBI and NSA agents and spies. 18. Chemicals and drugs into residential buildings with hidden NSA installed and maintained plastic plumbing lines. The NSA has kits for running lines into residential tap water and air ducts of subjects for the delivery of drugs, such as sleeping gas or brainwashing aiding drugs. This is an outgrowth of CIA pharmacology, psychopharmacology. 19. Victims experience daily break-ins in their homes by FBI and NSA secret society spies. Victims of this endless torture has no way to prove the break-ins and poisoning of food since FBI and NSA spies have technology that can easily disable the video surveillance systems, phone lines, and security alarm systems of the torture victims. 20. FBI and NSA spies threaten hundreds of thousands of these innocent torture victims in America with accidents, bioterrorism attacks in the form of measles, chickenpox, smallpox, and other forms of viruses, life-threatening diseases AIDS, debilitating diseases cystic fibrosis, Alzheimer's etc. FBI and NSA spies post these threatening messages on internet only the mind control victims can understand and knew those threats were meant for the victims. In some cases, unfortunately these torture victims do not even know they are torture victims. Psychopathic torture experiments. Reading and broadcasting private thoughts. Frequent break-ins and poisoning of food. Frequent break-ins and enters at home and at work with clothing, furniture, business papers, computer files sabotaged, modified, or stolen. Frequent break-ins and movement of items from their original places, lights, TV, and other electronic appliances turned on or off. Controlled dreams. Forced waking visions, some synchronized with body motion. Microwave hearing. Transparent eyelids. Artificial tinnitus. Forced movement of jaw and clacking of teeth. Forced precision. Manipulation of hands. Forced memory blanking and induced erroneous actions. Induced changes to hearing, both apparent direction and volume and sometimes even content. Sudden violent itching inside eyelids. Forced manipulation of airways, including externally controlled forced speech. Wildly racing heart without cause. Remotely induced violent no-rash itching, often during delicate or messy work. Forced nudging of arm during delicate or messy work causing spills or injury. Intense general pain or hot needles pushed deep into flesh sensations. Wild flailing, sometimes followed by short periods of rigor mortis. Sudden overheating, all body pain, sleep prevention. Forced drop in your tracks sleep inducement. Irresistible go here, go there commands. Microwave burns, electric shocks. Torture victims. Impotency caused by secret poisoning of the food by FBI and NSA secret spies. Usually alone in his/her torture. Constant mental rape, insults, and humiliation. Has no privacy even for his/her private thoughts. Cannot plan secretly nor hold trade secrets or intellectual property. Is subject to vicious physical and psychological attacks. Does not know how harassment is happening or by whom. Does not know why harassment is happening. May be accused of mental illness, called delusional. Cannot get away, no matter where he/she goes. Mind-raped thought streams. Bugged conversations. Gossip, rumors, social and job connections broken. Microwave voices, clicks, pops, brain zapping, direct harassment. Death and disease threats via internet messages from undercover FBI and NSA spies. Mind control means influencing the behavior of an individual, and to creating or remolding victim's personality towards desired state. The desired model human for the elite of the world, or, the Illuminati is, easily steerable mass human without personal characteristics. A stupefied, dumped down person. This secures the interests of the elite of the world, so they can lead our lives through changing times the way they want. Apparently growing out of earlier government mind control research programs such as MKUltra, and government suppression of dissent programs such as COINTELPRO, today's mind control is covert, finely crafted, around-the-clock harassment perpetrated against citizens living in their homes and communities. Destruction of family and other relationships by way of lies, bribes, and threats is a goal of the phase of today's mind control. The current-day mind control program has been carefully engineered so that if the target complains, their own words will instantly cause them to be labeled as mentally ill. The mind/body symptoms of current-day mind control include excruciating pain, exceptionally frequent blanking of recent memories, and truncation of new ideas. Impotency caused by secret poisoning of the food by FBI and NSA secret spies. Very unnatural inability to sleep, as if large amounts of caffeine have been consumed. Sudden forced awakening at precisely the same time in the middle of the night, continuing for at least months, and right on a clock time such as 4 a.m., 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Sudden clumsiness, which can result in spills, spoilage of precise work, or injury. Attacks of extreme fatigue, sometimes almost to the point of paralysis, when there is no reason for such attacks. Frequent powerful itching without rash, and which may start as a small electric shock. Artificial bee stings, especially while trying to get to sleep. Wildly racing heart without any cause. Sudden overheating, without any cause. Frequent flailing of arms and legs as you try to sleep. Fake sounds such as alarm clock going off when it shouldn't, telephone ringing when there is no incoming call, knocking on the door but no one is there. Voices, either very insulting, or telling you things that indicate you are under surveillance. Vibration of body parts when trying to sleep. High-pitched tone in ears, which may change when switching electronic equipment on or off in some cases. Statements by strangers indicating they know what you had for supper. In some cases, statements by strangers indicating they can read your thoughts. Artificial and powerful sexual stimulation. Artificial and powerful prevention of sexual stimulation. Thanks for listening and watching. Subscribe and share.